Hi, I'm Richard from FreeBonde. I almost gave up gardening before I even really started. Here's why. Years ago, I helped a friend take care of his traditional soil garden. It sounded fun at first, fresh air, hands in the dirt, growing my own food. But reality hit fast. Every day, hours spent watering, fighting weeds that grew faster than the vegetables, scrubbing mud off harvests until my hands cracked. One morning, I found a caterpillar army eating every single leaf I had worked so hard to grow. I tried to save the plants and ended up killing my first bug. I felt guilty for days. That's when I thought, if this is what it takes to grow food, maybe gardening just isn't for me. But I was wrong. Most people think growing vegetables means being outside in the sun, digging deep in the soil, dirt under your nails. Almost like that's the only real way to garden. But here's the thing. Hydroponics, growing plants without soil, completely changed my life. And it might surprise you to know, the vegetables you eat every day from supermarkets and restaurants are already mostly hydroponic. Not grown in traditional farms, but in high-tech, water-based systems or vertical urban farms. Today, I'll share why I walked away from soil gardening and why hydroponics is the future of growing food. 1. No land needed. I've lived in big cities most of my life. Here in Stockholm, if you want a piece of land to grow vegetables, you can apply for a small community plot. Sounds nice, right? But reality, you'll wait years before you get one. Hydroponics removes that barrier completely. No farmland needed. You can start on a kitchen counter, in a space as small as an A4 sheet. You can grow vertically on walls or put a small tank in your backyard. You can start anywhere, anytime. For me, that meant I didn't have to dream about gardening anymore. I could actually do it right inside my apartment. 2. Massive resource savings. And let's talk about resources. When I helped my friend with his soil plot, just 50 square meters, watering meant running the hose for 40 minutes to an hour. Puddles formed on the ground, but dig a little underneath and it was still dry. Most of that water never reached the plants. Same with fertilizer and pesticides. They seep into the environment instead of feeding vegetables. With hydroponics, every drop of water and every nutrient goes straight to the roots. No waste. That's why hydroponics saves 90 to 99% of water compared to traditional gardening. Even NASA grows food this way in space. That's how efficient it is. But resources aren't the only battle. There's also the war with weeds and bugs. Take a month off in soil gardening and your plot turns into a wild jungle. Some weeds sting or cut you. Bugs, if you're not out at dawn hand-picking caterpillars, you may lose your entire crop. Your only other option is chemicals. But isn't the whole reason for growing your own food to avoid pesticides? That's the paradox of soil gardening. Hydroponics breaks it. No soil, no weeds. Controlled environment means 99% fewer pests. Once in a while, a moth flies in, but it's easy to handle. And honestly, after that first slug I killed, I never wanted to go through that again. With hydroponics, I don't have to. 4. Freedom from weather and seasons. Time and weather, two more enemies of soil gardening. Traditional gardening demands hours every week, but even if you put in the time, you're still at the mercy of nature. Too little rain, too much rain, a sudden frost or heat wave, and your vegetables can be wiped out overnight. In winter, outdoor gardening is almost impossible. And here in Northern Europe, we face months of polar night with almost no sunlight, then endless daylight in summer. For a big part of the year, you simply can't grow food outside. With hydroponics, you control the environment completely. Weather doesn't matter. Seasons don't matter. Day or night, you can have fresh vegetables 24/7, 365 days a year, anywhere in the world. 5. Clean, safe harvests. And when harvest time comes, hydroponics wins again. Every soil-grown harvest I've had took over an hour to wash. mud stuck everywhere, sometimes impossible to fully clean. And remember, traditional soil farming often uses animal manure as fertilizer, which is part of the parasite life cycle. With hydroponics, your vegetables are clean and safe. Most of the time, you can pick and eat immediately. No mud, no bacteria worries, just fresh food. If you've got kids, this peace of mind is priceless.
6. Emotional comfort and the hidden beauty of roots.
And if you think gardening is about getting your hands dirty and connecting with nature, I get that. I used to think so too. But let me tell you, pulling weeds, spraying pesticides, scrubbing mud off vegetables for hours, that's not the part that makes people happy. Hydroponics doesn't take away the joy of gardening. It makes it better. You still plant seeds, watch them sprout, prune them, harvest them, but you also get something magical that soil can never give you. You see the roots growing in perfect white strands underwater. With our FreeBonde Smart Planting Machine, this becomes even more special. It's the only home-growing system with a semi-transparent water tank, so you can see every detail of your plant's life underground. And beyond that, hydroponic plants bring calmness and joy into your home. They sit on your desk, beside your dining table, quietly releasing fresh oxygen, neutralizing carbon dioxide, and filling the room with the soft fragrance of herbs. Watching them grow from tiny seeds into thriving plants is a happiness that money can't buy. It comforts your mind, heals your stress, and gives you a little piece of nature's companionship right where you live and work. So, here's why I chose hydroponics over soil gardening. No land needed, saves 90+% of water and nutrients, no weeds, no bugs, no weather or seasonal limits, less time, more fresh food, clean, safe harvests, and with FreeBonde, you even witness the hidden beauty of roots. Hydroponics lets me truly enjoy gardening, watching life flourish, harvesting fresh greens, and doing it all in a way that's sustainable for the planet. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Would you still choose soil gardening, or does hydroponics sound like a better fit? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I personally read and reply to many of them, and I might feature your story in a future video. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next episode. I'll show you how to take herbs from the supermarket and bring them back to life in your own home. It's like giving store-bought plants a second chance. And if you want to start growing your own fresh vegetables right now, check out our FreeBonde Smart Planting Machine. For a limited time, you can use the code YouTubeFans to get 30% off your first order. I'll leave the link down in the description. Thanks for watching, and happy growing!